What's up? So today, guys, we're going to be looking at what you voted to be the greatest weapon in all of Fortnite. Last week, I asked you guys to vote on what your favorite gun in Fortnite is, and we got back over 47,000 responses. And while I would say that some of these places, even the top spot is a little bit predictable, again, I'm actually very surprised with where everything ended up. And just one quick clarification before we get into it is that we only use the highest tier of a gun. So for example, when looking at the SCAR, we don't look at the purple SCAR, only the gold. And furthermore, because the gold SCAR is of the weapon set of the automatic assault rifles, so the white to blue M16, we don't look at those weapons either because the SCAR is the best of that entire set. The same goes when looking at the blue pump, you don't include that because the gold pump is the highest of that tier. But then in the case where you're comparing the blue silenced SMG to the compact gold, those are two very clearly different weapons despite being both SMGs, so they would both make this list. So highest tier of unique weapons. Anyways, before we do get into it, if you guys are new to the channel and can please help me hit 2.5 million subscribers, we're coming up very close. That would be most appreciated. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so coming in at our number 18 spot, it's not what you expect because it's not the green semi-auto pistol. It's actually the grenade launcher. The gold grenade launcher was the lowest ranked weapon on this list. Of 47,000 votes, this got 273. That is 0.6% of the votes. And I just gotta say, rip grenade launcher. I'm surprised. I really thought that this would have done a lot better, and it is actually the lowest ranked weapon on this list. Also, just quick side note, straight up, honestly, I'm stupid, and I completely forgot to include the minigun on this list. So, yeah, sorry. Anyways, let's move on. Coming in at a number 17 spot, again, it is not the semi-auto pistol, it's actually the silenced pistol. The silenced pistol got 704 votes for 1.5% of the total votes. Now, while I'm not necessarily shocked at the placement of this, again, I'm very surprised that this got a lower ranking than the basic semi-auto pistol. I don't know. You guys are just really weird. Anyways, though, overall, I feel like the silenced pistol is never been a standout gun. And while I know there are some very few people that actually do like this weapon, I would say the general community don't use this weapon very much. Honestly, it gets so much little love that I'm surprised it hasn't been vaulted yet. Especially when you consider weapons like the dual wield that a lot of people do like actually have been. Anyways, moving on to our number 16 spot, the third lowest voted weapon is again not the semi-auto pistol, but it's going to be the tactical shotgun. The tac shotgun got 804 votes to put it at 1.7% of the total votes. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised to see the tactical shotgun rank so low. And I think the reason why it ranks so low is just because if you watch the pros, you watch Ninja, Tifu, all these guys, they only use the pump. At this point, like, that is the better of the two. And because of that, people really just look at the tactical shotgun like it's unanimously worse. But in a lot of cases, this is actually a pretty good gun. If you're early game with 100 HP, you run into someone with a pump and they miss their shot and you land your first two, you're going to kill them. And while I certainly don't think that it's better than any version at all of the pump, I don't think it deserved to be this low. Now moving on to our number 15 spot, this is going to be the blue scoped assault rifle. The blue scoped AR got 867 votes for 1.8% of the total votes. And to me, this is pretty right on cue. Not the best weapon by far, and I actually would rank it much higher, but I'm very understanding that the community as a whole ranked this pretty low. If you're a crazy good player and you have amazing aim, you will shred with this thing, but I understand that not everybody likes it. But at the end of the day, I'm still surprised that this actually ranked lower than the thermal. Now moving on to our number 14 spots, this is going to be, again, not the semi-auto pistol, but the gold compact SMG. The gold compact SMG got 1,010 votes for 2.1% total, and this is one that I'm very shocked. I find this one very hard to believe that this weapon ranked so low. The P90, in my opinion, is a very strong gun. It's great for tearing down structures, and really, I thought like the general community would have liked this more. It's certainly not my favorite weapon, but there are very few situations where I'm going to turn down an SMG, let alone a gold compact. Now, ladies and gentlemen, finally, the moment you've been waiting for, coming in at our number 13 spot. This is the green semi-auto pistol. The green semi-auto pistol got 1,189 votes. And what I can conclude from this is that there are 1,188 trolls in my YouTube subscriptions. That's just like objectively false. There's no one that would rank this weapon higher than actually anything I think we've looked at. And again, I am going to attribute this one up to the trolls. Moving on to our number 12 spot, this is going to be the gold thermal assault rifle. Honestly, again, in my opinion, much worse than the scoped AR. The scoped thermal got 1,352 votes for 2.9% total percentage of the votes. I'm guessing people voted this one high just because it's a gold weapon, but again, I just don't see how this ranks higher than the scoped AR and really even like the compact SMG or grenade launcher. Moving on to our number 11 spot, this is actually very expected. We have the suppressed sniper. A pretty middle of the road weapon. This thing basically just took over from the bolt, but it's got less popularity because it's not the bolt. Which, by the way, people complaining that the bolt got taken out, I get it for nostalgic reasons, but the suppressed sniper is literally the same weapon, but better. Gold version does the same amount of damage and it doesn't make as much noise. The gold suppressed sniper got 1,460 votes for 3.1%. Overall, I would say that this is a very accurate pick on your guys' behalf. Now, interestingly enough, moving on to our number 10 spot, this is going to be the purple dual-wield pistols. Now, I knew that there was a lot of love for these weapons, and early game, I'm certainly fine to rock them, but I'm surprised to see them ranking so high. The dual-wield pistols got 3.4%, or 1,593 votes. Like, I knew that there was a huge community out there that loved these weapons, but I didn't realize it was this many people. I personally would consider these weapons worse than a tactical shotgun. The only time I really like them is early game, but I would much prefer attack. But, you know, I guess they do have their place in the game. The one thing I would say is they're decent short range and mid range, and in early game, that's actually pretty helpful because everyone's got only 100 health, there's not a lot of builds, and they are good at that specific moment in Fortnite. Now, moving on to our number 9 spot, this is going to be the blue hunting rifle. The hunting rifle in general, but you get what I'm saying. The hunting rifle got 1,627 votes for 3.5% total. Are you watching the gameplay? Because I'm telling you, man, this is there's a few nice spicy clips here. Honestly, I think that this is a very accurate spot for the hunting rifle. Number 9, better than the suppressed bolt, I guess, whatever, yeah, bolt sniper, suppressed sniper, whatever, but not as good as the heavy. That's exactly how I feel about these 3 snipers, and this is probably about where I would actually put this one. I'm a big fan of the hunting rifle when I land headshots, and I really hate it when I miss them. But then again, who isn't? Okay, now moving on to our number 8 spot, this is where we're going to start seeing some pretty big increases in votes. At number 8, this is the gold suppressed assault rifle. Silent Scar, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is accurate. The suppressed Scar got 2,539 votes for a total of 5.4%. Now, I actually ranked this weapon higher than the Scar in my video that I did my own personal list, and you know what? You guys corrected me, and I think you're right. I've been really enjoying the suppressed Scar because I just found it to be very accurate, but honestly, at the end of the day, that one less shot to kill for 100 health and 200 health makes the Scar really just still superior. I really do love the suppressed AR just simply because I find it to be quite accurate, but yeah, you guys were right. This weapon is not as good as the Scar, and I think that this was a good voting spot for it. Moving on to number 7, the highest ranking sniper on our list. This is, of course, the Heavy. The Heavy got 2,674 votes for 5.7%. Now, I know I said that some of these spots were surprising, and we're going to get to the more surprising ones here pretty soon. This is, again, I think, really where this weapon should fit. I honestly could see this being a little bit higher. I mean, it does 150 damage. But at the end of the day, I think better than the 2 other snipers was the most important thing for this to be an accurate list. And yeah, I'm not too surprised about this spot. I personally might put it just a little bit higher, but at the end of the day, 7 seems pretty fair. At number 6, this is going to be the gold RPG. Now, this is the one that I am very surprised at. 6th, okay? Wow. I really thought that the community would put this weapon way higher. Like, I was thinking probably number 3, maybe number 2. The RPG got 3,083 votes for 6.5% love from the community. Now, while I am very surprised about this, I'd be curious to see if in a week or two this is going to change, simply just because there's been a lot more drops, I believe, on the RPG ever since the quad launcher was taken out. And that leads me to believe that probably more people are going to be playing with it and starting to really like this weapon again. But anyways, yeah, the gold RPG is our number 6 spot, surprisingly enough. All right, and moving on to number 5, to me, again, another shocking spot. This is the gold heavy assault rifle. The heavy assault rifle got 3,696 votes for 7.9% of the total votes in this survey. Now that I see this, I can believe it, but I'm still surprised. I noticed that a lot of high level players often run this weapon just because it is a little bit more accurate. It does quite a bit of damage. But the reason I'm surprised that this is so high is I didn't think the general community would like this gun. I honestly expected the suppressed AR to be higher than this weapon. More than that, I really thought the RPG and the heavy sniper would be ahead of this one. It's a great weapon. I think it does like 96 headshot damage, 48 for a normal shot in the gold variety. It's a very good weapon, and while again, I'm not surprised, I guess I wasn't expecting it. It's a good weapon, I just didn't think the general community would like it that much. Now, moving on to number 4, we gotta just backtrack a quick second here. Gold compact SMG, okay, the best, rarest SMG in the game, came 14th on this list. 2.1% of the votes. And the blue silenced SMG is coming in at the number 4 spot with 8.1% of the votes. Now, I'm having trouble just because the file got deleted off my computer of the actual number of votes, but that's somewhere's roughly looking at about 3,900 votes versus the compact SMG getting 1,000. This, to me, is one of the most baffling things on this list. The silenced SMG just came back into the game, and a lot of players probably didn't even have much experience with this thing. It got taken out in Season 4, and Season 4 was the only season that it was even good. In Season 3 and back, it was a really just bad weapon. So I don't think that it's like nostalgia that's going on for this thing. I genuinely believe that people just got used to it maybe in playground mode, or just it came back and they're like, dude, this thing is awesome, and there's just a ton of hype for this weapon, and people voted for it. The thing you gotta understand is the day before I put out this survey, we had a bunch of weapons rotated, so like the normal SMG was taken out, the heavy shotgun was taken out. So I think that people really like this gun, and because of all the hype for it, of it coming back, that's why people voted this so high. And I agree. Really good weapon. I preferred over the silenced SMG. I preferred it over the regular blue SMG. And I say, you know what? Good on you guys. I like this call a lot. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one spot on this list that I really, I gotta apologize. In my own list, I put the Deagle very low. I think I put it middle of the road for legendary weapons. And I'm here to say sorry. The Deagle is actually a sick weapon. And according to you guys, it is the 3rd best. The Deagle got 4,335 votes for a 9.2% total. That was almost really surprising to me until I realized that the Deagle is actually awesome. I had so many bad experiences with it over the last few months that when it got buffed, I was like, I just don't even care about this weapon. I don't want to get good with it. And then my buddy told me to get good with it, and I was like, okay. It's pretty good. While I really do like the Deagle, I don't think I would personally put it number 3 still, but to me, that this many people like the Deagle as their number 1 weapon, that is very telling. So anyways, Deagle, I'm sorry. You're worth, you know what? There. Hopefully, that makes up for it. Now, moving on to our number 2 spot. We've got 2 weapons left. It's the Gold Scar versus the Gold Pump. And if you guys can believe it or not, coming in at our number 2 spot by an absolute landslide, it's the Scar. Well, an absolute landslide in the other way for the Gold Pump. The Scar got 4,921 votes. That is 10.5% of the total votes. And while I personally think that this is the right call, that the Gold Pump is better than the Scar, I can't believe the discrepancy between these two. Because, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at our number 1 spot, obviously the gold pump, but get ready for these stats. The gold pump got 10,714 votes. That is 22.8%. Again, remember that the Scar was 10.5, the Deagle 9.2, and the RPG 6.5. And the compact SMG, again, 2.1. This is exactly what I think. I think the gold pump is unanimously the best weapon. But I'm surprised that it was this much of a difference. More than twice as many votes as any other weapon on this list, and more votes than the Gold Scar and Deagle combined. That is astounding, and I just gotta say, well done, Fortnite community. You guys are right. So good job, and nice list. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was a long one, so give a nice little rip to Roman in the chat. We are going to wrap it up right there, and if you guys want to get involved in the next survey, I think I'm going to keep doing these videos. You guys seem to really enjoy the last one, so if you did enjoy, leave a like and go comment and do the next survey. It'll be top link in the description. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet, and help me get to 2.5 million, quarter of the way to the big 10 million. And other than that, thank you guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.